At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
Pahrump's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome to News 46's Week in Review, your #1 source for local news. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. It's been quite a while since we've seen any burros on the roadway in Pahrump. Last Saturday night, a woman from California hit 2 burros on Highway 160 just north of town. Emergency crews responded to Highway 160 just north of town on Saturday night, approximately 11 p.m., for a vehicle who apparently struck 2 burros in the roadway. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene with Nye County Sheriff's deputies and Nevada Highway Patrol to conduct the investigation. The woman was uninjured in the accident and said to be a resident of California. The car sustained moderate damage to the windshield and front right portion of the vehicle. Emergency crews attempted to locate the burros who fled into the desert after being struck. Nevada Highway Patrol is conducting the investigation of this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. An 18-wheel big rig crashed off Highway 160 and Trout Canyon. I'm here on Highway 160 just south of Trout Canyon Road, where this morning an 18-wheeler went off the roadway. The big rig seems to have blown its front right tire before barreling approximately 100 feet into the desert off Highway 160 just south of Trout Canyon Road. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene and checked over the driver, who appears to have been uninjured in the accident. He was not transported. Firefighters, however, located leaking fluids from the diesel and shoveled dirt to contain the spill. The tractor-trailer straddled itself across a wash area after the driver lost control of the vehicle. Nevada Highway Patrol is conducting the investigation of this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Highway 160 and Trout Canyon for News 46. And a woman was transported locally following a 2-vehicle accident off Highway 372. We answer the question, why did the chicken cross the road? We're here at a 2-vehicle accident on Highway 372 and Charleston Park, right here at the Y in front of the Quick Save Market, where on Saturday night, approximately 6 p.m., 2 vehicles collided. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nevada Highway Patrol and Nye County Sheriff's deputies, who blocked the westbound lane while the investigation of the accident was being conducted. However, one woman was transported here locally with injuries. Nobody else inside either vehicle was injured. They were all checked out on scene. There was a little distraction, however, during the accident investigation when a chicken decided that it would like to cross the roadway during the investigation of this accident into cross traffic. Nye County Sheriff's deputies directed the traffic around the chicken. Once again, Nevada Highway Patrol is investigating the cause of this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Highway 372 for News 46. A single-engine aircraft crashed at Simpkins and Highway 160 near the Calvada Airport.
Yes, we're on location of a single-engine plane crash this morning. It appears that the investigation is surrounding a possible failure of the mechanical aspects of the plane, which then allowed it to clip several trees and a privacy fence on a property prior to having a rough landing on a roadway and then flipping on its roof.
He was not attempting to land on the runway here?
That's part of the investigation, is to find out exactly what led up to the incident, and both the FAA, NTSB, and the Sheriff's Office will be investigating that further.
And the home that he just narrowly missed there, is there any damage to that?
There's no damage to the home, but I said the larger tree was clipped, as well as the entrance gate for a privacy fence was also damaged.
So this is an actual legitimate plane crash, not just somebody who was taken off and flipped it over.
Oh, no, this was actually a plane that was in flight attempting to land back at the airport, and then the incident occurred.
And only one occupant inside the plane?
One occupant, he's uninjured, and as you can see, he's milling around waiting for the information as to when NTSB will be arriving.
And we're calling the FAA?
FAA and NTSB are usually notified or provided the tail numbers, and they make a determination on whether they're going to send an investigator out now or we have to preserve the evidence for them.
We checked out the pilot on scene.
Yes, he was checked out by Medic 1, and he was found to be uninjured.
And once again, that was 11:30 Saturday afternoon, where a single-engine Cessna plane crashed, just narrowly missing this house, actually topping off the top of a pine tree and hitting a large gate, where a dog actually inside that yard escaped. Animal control arrived on scene to attempt to locate the dog, and once again, the FAA has been called in. The pilot is okay and doing well. He was checked out on scene. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Simpkins and Highway 160 for News 46. And a 10th person has died from injuries sustained when a stunt plane crashed at the Reno Air Race. Investigators say that the pilot, Jimmy Leeward, may have been unconscious when his World War II-era P-51 Mustang smashed into a crowd of spectators, killing him and 9 others. Leeward was traveling as fast as 500 miles an hour when he crashed. Jimmy Leeward, who was 74, of Ocala, Florida, was a veteran stuntman. Witnesses said as the P-51 Mustang Galloping Ghost rounded the final clubhouse turn, something dropped off the tail of the plane. In one of the final photos taken before the crash, a piece of metal crucial for the aircraft to maintain balance was missing. Leeward had modified the old propeller plane to make it fly as fast as a jet. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A 2-vehicle accident on Homestead, north of Terrible's Lakeside, required 1 woman to be transported with injuries. We're on Homestead, just north of Lakeside, where a 2-vehicle accident occurred this afternoon. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue arrived on scene along with Nye County Sheriff's deputies who blocked the roadway in both directions, diverting traffic around the accident scene. Apparently, a truck and a smaller compact car collided in front of Strickland Construction Company. 1 woman was transported with injuries they say is from a seat belt. She's going to be checked over. She was transported here locally, and the other vehicle was a Strickland Construction truck that no one was injured on scene. They did, however, check out all occupants, and they were released. Nye County Sheriff's deputies are investigating this accident. This is Deanna O'Donnell on Homestead near Rockandog for News 46. An alleged repeat child molester has been taken into custody. The Nye County Sheriff's Office has issued an official press release. 61-year-old Douglas Todd Lund of Pahrump has been arrested and booked on 2 counts of lewdness with a child under 14 years old and 2 counts of child sexual abuse with a child under the age of 14. There's 2 unnamed juvenile females who are the victims of this. Nye County Sheriff's deputies took a report from 2 juvenile females alleging that Douglas Lund had been sexually lewd with them on several occasions. Subsequent investigation revealed that Douglas Lund had been sexually lewd with these 2 juveniles on dozens of instances during a time period spanning several years. Douglas Lund was arrested and was booked into the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center and is currently being held on $30,000 bail. No further information relating to the juvenile female victims is being released in order to protect their identities pursuant to the Nevada Revised Statute. Anyone with additional information relating to Douglas Lund and these crimes is urged to contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 751-7000. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. 4 residents are now homeless after losing everything in a structure fire which completely engulfed their home and vehicle on the south end of town.
Yeah, we got a report of a structure fire on 6800 block of South Oak Ridge Street. Fire Chief Lewis was first on scene, reported a well-involved manufactured dwelling with multiple exposures, a couple vehicles, and a 2-car garage next to it. 1002 was on location first. They did a master stream. They knocked down the blunt of the fire, helped protect the exposures. And then engine 4, when I arrived with engine 4, we pulled 2 inch 3/4 lines, pushed it away from the garage and the other vehicles, and then we had a quick knockdown, and it was all defensive attack fire. So,
do we know why it was already engulfed when it was reported?
No, I don't. I don't know. That would be a Chief Lewis question. Possibly delayed of notification, or I don't really know.
One of the cars actually did catch fire there.
Yeah, it was a SUV, a Division A, had some major damage to it.
And then this is an occupied structure, though, and the occupants all got out?
Yes, I believe there was no injuries reported, so everybody got out safely.
So this was just basically an exterior attack, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 100% defensive attack. We had Valley Electric come in on Division B. There was a pole that they secured. And then we had multiple exposures, heavy brush, and an RV in Division C in the back of the house. We ratified that quick, extinguished, and so there's no extension to the fire besides the structure.
We had several water tenders show up on scene as well.
Yeah, we had tender 2, tender 3, and we had a small attack unit, brush truck, just for the spot fires with the embers, and then we had a couple support vehicles.
And we had some other homes in close proximity to this, and we protected those.
Yes, yeah, there was no extension to any of the properties or any of the structures. So.
And as far as the investigation is concerned at this point, is the state fire marshal coming in, or is this going to be handled locally?
This is going to be handled locally by the fire chief.
Do we have a clue of what it might be right now at this point?
No, I have no comment on that.
And the residents of this fire are in dire need of help. If you can help in any way, including finding a home or some form of shelter, even a place to rent at this point, they're looking for either 2 separate 1 or 2 bedroom homes or 1 3-bedroom home. You can call 751-2922. That's 751-2922. And of course, we're going to take you to part 2 of that devastating structure fire on Oak Ridge, which completely destroyed the residents. The family is grateful to be alive, but they're in dire need of help.
There was a cigarette fire. Someone had happened to fall asleep in the back bedroom with a cigarette, and luckily the fire alarm went off, and my brother-in-law came in and actually saved my life. And we proceeded to watch the complex go up in flames, and the fire department did an excellent job in coming out and extinguishing the fire, but it was incredible how hot it burnt, and we were a good distance away from it. We could feel the heat, and you could see it. I don't know, flames were, I'm guessing, 45 feet in the air at times, and it was a pretty horrific experience.
Tell me about the experience in general. Your brother-in-law came in and woke you up and told you what?
He told me, "You're on fire." He said, "If you don't get out of here, you're going to die." And I was just coming to, and it didn't really seem real for a moment because I didn't feel any heat or anything. The bedding around me was on fire. So I thought it was almost a bad joke or something, but it turned out to be true. And there was flames through the doorway, so he had to come through flames, actually very, very heroic on his part, and then he helped me through because I was just waking up and I was a little disoriented at the time, so he helped me make it through the fire. And
they were pretty well involved by the time that he actually came to you.
Oh yes, the flames were very well involved. Yes, it must not have took long for them to get going, so because the fire alarm is right outside that bedroom. So
Shirley, I know that Shirley's your mom here. How are you doing? Tell me about your experience last night.
Well, my experience is that my daughter's Ron's he heard that go off, and he says, "You girls run right now." I said, "I want to grab my purse. Don't get anything. The house is on fire someplace." He said, "Get out of here. You're going to go up in flames. I'm going to go get your son, Rick. Julie, you and your mom get out of here as fast as you can. I'm going to go get him. Don't worry."
So he went back in to get you.
Yes, he went back in, and I thought he was very much of a hero for doing that. He saved my son's life, and he had to walk through the fire to do it. And then one of their dogs got away, and they thought that it was lost, and they were just brokenhearted. However, the dog did return, was hiding out in a shed in the back. And I was just teared up and thinking, I lost everything. My pictures, to heck with material things. We had a lot of nice things, and I can get them back in time, but there's some things never can be replaced. And the lady next door put water, sprayed it on my car, and she gave us some water, and I got to sit on her porch. And then Pam and her husband Kevin, they're wonderful neighbors. They brought us over and let us spend the night, gave us something to eat, and we made it through and gave us some clothes to wear. Otherwise, we don't have anything to wear or anything at all. And we really appreciate you coming down, and we would appreciate if anybody could help us. I'm one of those that don't like to ask, I like to help people.
And once again, they're looking for a place to live. If you can help in any way, you can call 751-2922. And you can view this entire interview on our website at KPVM.TV. Well, he's a hero, saving his brother-in-law and the rest of the family from those flames.
Well, we were doing some cleaning, and the fire alarm went off, and we've been having a few electrical problems with the house, and we thought maybe it was an electrical problem, and it turned out to be a fire. As I looked down the hallway, I seen my brother-in-law laying on the floor in fire, and you know, stuff like that. It's just pretty dramatic. And I went to save him and pull him out of the fire and smoke and everything. It was really hard to see him breathe. And I pushed my mother-in-law out of the fire also, and then secondly, and my brother-in-law.
And Julie, yourself?
I ran behind Ron about 5 seconds after him. I was coming behind him, and I just stopped and went into shock when I saw the flames. Just the whole back bedroom was engulfed in flames, and it was coming out into the living room, and I just kind of went in shock and went back and was just yelling at my mom to get out of the house. And you know, I just focused on getting her out.
Because she is disabled, and that is really concerning, especially with her physical condition. Even the smoke inhalation is very affecting to her.
Yes, yes it is. She needs several surgeries, and she can't get around very well at all. So
and I
it was
know
a
that
major factor in getting her out, because she can hardly walk, you know.
And Richard himself even sustained some burns. Did you get some burns too as well, Ron?
No, luckily I didn't. I had fire and the roof caving in around me, but God must have been there, you know, and everybody made it out safely, and I'm just really happy about that, and the animals also. So,
how many animals would you guys have then?
We have 3 Weimaraners. After everybody was out, one of the Weimaraners was missing, and she's really protective over our family, you know. And we at one point had thought maybe she had ran back into the trailer. We couldn't find her all night. We were looking for her, and about 4:30 in the morning we found her.
So
Thank God. So yes,
they're like our family also. So
'cause we don't have children, so.
And Weimaraners are very close to the family. I know that breed is like that as well.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They're definitely part of the family.
The destruction of this home is devastating. I mean, there's just nothing that you can find that you guys can even salvage at all, besides the fact that this is your vehicle that we're looking at right here.
Yes, it is. In fact, we had just finished paying our Jeep Liberty off. Last Friday was our last car payment. For 5 years, we've been making that payment. We just finished paying it off, and our auto insurance is not going to cover that car, and it's totaled, so we lost both of our running vehicles in the fire. We don't have a car, and we don't have anything.
And that really, you guys do not have anything there. I mean, the clothes that you're wearing, there's nothing that you guys have here. So what do you guys, besides the basic essentials of clothing and shoes and some beds, we're hoping to get another home on this property, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, eventually we're hoping, you know.
that would be the plan, you know, but hopefully things, I don't know, things happen for a reason. I really don't know.
It's going to take a
pretty
lot of money
confused right
just
now. I'm still in shock.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of money just to get back on our feet and get our bare necessities, you know.
And once again, you can help them out by calling 751-2922, and you can also view that entire interview on our website at KPVM.TV. A disabled veteran is suing after being evicted from his longtime residence. Edgar Jr. Smith II is retired law enforcement, military police, He was even a presidential guard. He has many law enforcement background professions that he's done in his lifetime. We're here on Oak Ridge, where recently him and some others were evicted from this home. We're going to speak to him right now about what they are calling an illegal eviction process.
The police came in last Thursday and said, they beat on the door, said, you got 15 minutes to get your property out of the house. And I said, there's over $1 million worth of property here. There's no way it can be moved. They said, you got 15 minutes. So I grabbed the important stuff and left, just as they ordered me to do.
So what's going on? You got evicted?
Yes, actually. Payments were made on this place for about 9 years straight. And when the man's father had passed away, they refused to take payments. Then they went through this illegal eviction or illegal sale of the property that they did for lack of payment after they refused the payments.
Let's speak about how you have a flag upside down here on some crime scene tape. What's that about?
Basically, I put the or a friend of mine put the crime scene tape up for me. And then I decided to put the flag upside down or have him put it upside down. But we did change a little bit on the flag. The stars are silver, not white.
So what does that mean?
Actually, it means that distress, that you're in distress. It's a national distress symbol.
In a state of emergency. Yes, ma'am. The flag upside down is a state of emergency through their actions that they're doing.
So the crime scene tape for what purpose?
Crime scene tape was to keep people off the property.
And so, do you know when the first time that you got notified that there was an action being taken?
3 days before the sale that they did. Other than that, we had no prior communication with them because they refused to communicate.
What month was that?
Oh, June, I believe, 2 years ago.
So we're going to be presenting evidence that shows that you have made these payments, that this home is actually in your name at this point, because you said that it's actually a matter of record now that this home is in your name.
Yes, ma'am. At the National Registry Office for the Land Foundation for the United States, it is registered as his property.
And you have a dog too as well.
Yes, ma'am. He's in my car. That's why the air conditioning's going.
So you have to stay wherever you can stay at this point.
Wherever I can find somebody who will let me stay, and that's it.
If there's anybody that would like to contact you to give you any advice or help you out, where can they call you?
Well, they could probably call me at my number. It's 775-209-2292.
Thank you so much, guys.
All right, thank you very much.
My number too. Sure. My number is 775-513-3023.
And still more news to come when News 46's News in Review returns.
Pahrumph's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome back. They are now back on top, specializing in family dining. We spoke to Chief Operating Officer Fred Nielsen and Franchise Business Manager Raymond Meister about the new Pahrump Denny's. This Denny's in the Pahrump Valley Junction is officially open. They'll never close again. We almost have 100 employees hired here locally. We're going to tell you all about it, including another location that will be opening soon.
We are very, very excited, Deanna. This is our first Denny's here in the city of Pahrump. We're so excited to be here. Tonight we're open at 8 o'clock.
So first meeting, is that a hint of something coming?
Well, I don't know how many restaurants this town can support, but we're excited to have the first one. We have been very well supported by the community. Everybody's been very, very excited to have us here, so we're looking forward to it.
I was at your hiring process that you had there at the Pahrump Nugget. It was just packed. People are excited in general just about Denny's coming to town.
Well, everybody, and I mean everybody in town, has said that they're excited to have a nice family restaurant here where they can take their family and their children and so forth to have a good dinner. So
I know that we converted the old Game Crazy and Hollywood Video here. Tell me about that process.
Well, originally we were actually looking at another location in Pahrump, but this is going back quite a ways, maybe 12, 18 months or so. That didn't quite work out. This property became available, and we were more excited about this property. We're actually happier to be here than where we were going to be. So it just is a great center to be in with all kinds of parking, and it's going to be a busy place.
Centrally located as well. Ray, I know that Denny's is doing well, and tell me about last year's growth.
We opened up almost 150 new restaurants last year. It was the largest expansion that Denny's has undergone in over 50 years, and we are now clearly the #1 leader in the family dining segment in America. And it's just really an exciting time for Denny's as we grow, and Pahrump is just another indication. You know, we just want to be the place to take your family 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's really more than certainly a slogan about always open, the idea that we're open to everyone in America, but we're also open 24/7, never close.
That's the thing. When you guys start at 8 o'clock tonight, that's forever. You guys are open, no more closing.
Forever and ever.
Yeah. Yes.
And another opening that you're having soon, too, as well, is in Beatty.
Yes, Beatty's next, and when I mean next, it's within the next month and a half.
So people can apply now?
Yes,
Absolutely.
we're actually working with Job Connect here in Pahrump. Also, Diane over there helped us a lot here to get this wonderful staff put together. She's also going to help us in Beatty.
Let's talk about the staff here. How many employees do we have?
We hired 97 people here, all from the Pahrump area. So it's a pretty cool thing. We had our final training session yesterday, and everybody was just very, very excited, enthusiastic. Probably out of the 20 or so openings I've done in my career, this was the most exciting, the crew.
The crew is excited. They're gearing up and ready to go. Tell me about some of the training that they go through. I know they've been working here for a while, haven't they?
Yeah, it's about a week all in all. Cooks have separate training from the server staff and the hostesses and the service assistants that support the servers. And everybody gets their own training. The cooks' training is a little bit longer. Actually, some of the cooks had some pre-training in some of our Las Vegas Denny's because their job is a little bit more intricate than some of the others. So they had probably 3 or 4 weeks maybe of pre-training.
Anything that we should be looking forward on the menu?
You know, right now we've got Let's Get Cheesy for the next 5 weeks or so. It's all about cheese.
There you go. And so we'll be open all the time here and always open. We don't go with the never closed. We're always positive.
That's right, always positive. And I just want to thank the people of Pahrump. They've been really supportive, from the folks that lead this city on down to just people that show up at that door over there saying, when are you guys going to open? So I just want to say thank you.
And we're so excited to have you guys here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we introduce you to the CEO of Denny's, Joe Sirachi.
Well, we're very excited to be here opening up in Pahrump, and we are thrilled to be part of the Pahrump community. As a matter of fact, my partner and I are both Nevada residents, and we feel the future, as he always likes to say it, is very, very bright. So for us, it's very important to be in a town like Pahrump. We can offer family dining in a smoke-free environment, as well as employ a good number of people. So we're very excited to be here.
I know the town's excited for you to be here as well. Tell me about why you guys decided on Pahrump.
Well, we looked at Pahrump, and we really believe Pahrump's future is also very, very bright. When you look at the demographics here, and I've had the opportunity to meet with your town manager, who's an outstanding individual, and he brought me through the plans for growth and be able to be a point of destination for not only tourists but other folks that are traveling by. We thought it would be a great opportunity for us to be part of the growth plan.
What was your experience like opening a business here?
Fantastic. Everyone that we work with was absolutely wonderful. As you hear many horror stories with small businesses administratively trying to get things through, we were very, very pleased with the partnership that the town formed with us so that we could get this restaurant opened as soon as possible.
I know that you're opening another one up in Beatty. How many more are you looking forward to?
Well, Beatty is going to be opening up in late October, but we have a number of properties we're looking at throughout the state, and particularly in the Las Vegas area as well. We really feel for us over the next year or so, 8 to 10 new restaurants would be a goal that is very achievable.
And I know that you're having a grand opening here with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, on October 22nd, please come by. We think it'll be an exciting day. We really want to be part of the community. So for us, an opportunity to meet community leaders as well as our customers and guests, it will be a fun day, I promise.
What is that like with the employees here, training them, getting ready for such a grand opening?
Well, I tell you what, we couldn't be more proud. As a matter of fact, Fred, our Chief Operating Officer, just mentioned to me this morning that of all the restaurants he's opened, this is the most excited and enthusiastic crew he's ever come in contact with. So we're very, very happy about that.
Pahrump Valley High School's music director, David Tomasini, was elated and surprised about the turnout to support the school's music department at the Sweet Corner on Frontage Road. With all of the budget cuts, the schools have taken a big hit, and one of the hits that they've taken is, of course, in the music departments. Luckily, Pahrump Valley High School has kept its music department. We're going to speak to David Tomasini and the fundraiser here on Friday night at the Sweet Corner.
Yeah, this is amazing. I've just pulled up and I'm amazed to see the doors are overflowing with my students and other parents and people in the community, which is exactly what this event is about, is bringing people together and our program supporting the local community and the local community supporting us.
And I know that people were saying you're so popular and you really got a bunch of people here tonight and all your students. Why is it so important to support the music department?
Oh, well, music is... When I just think about walking down the halls and seeing all those students, it's nice to know that there is a place where just about anyone of any diversity can come into a class and they belong. They're on a team, they're with a group of people that have the same goals and dreams as them that they can talk to. That's almost kind of like group therapy, as horrible it is to admit, but in a music class, there's just everybody coming together to work for a common goal. And they get an alliance and a bond that they won't get in many other classes.
I know that Blanche Moser here, the owner of Sweet Corner, saw your wish list. Yes. Tell me about that.
So at the beginning of this year, I decided to do a Western-themed marching band show, and I wrote out to the local community saying, let's do a Western show because Pahrump is the pride of the new Old West, and I just wrote a letter saying this is what we need, and we're hoping that the local community can help us, and then we'd like to help the local community back. And she just organized this entire event for all of us. We're really lucky. I didn't have to do anything, no one in the music department to do anything, and it just turned out to be a great event.
And this is great with the Sweet Corner as well. Domino's and their carry-out orders tonight, $1 going on each carry-out to the music department. Let's list what the music department consists of.
The music department, okay, are you ready for it? Okay. We start off the day with drumline, which is about 35 students of all different levels. We have the concert band afterwards. Then we have a men's choir, followed by the select audition-based choir. Then we have a music appreciation, history theory kind of composer class. Then we have the women's choir, and then after school we have the marching band right now. So, and then as the year goes on, we'll have the musical. People are starting a glee club, and then there's another outside group called Feeding Nevada that the music department is trying to support as far as helping the community.
People can donate all the time to the music department at Pahrump Valley High School?
Yes, absolutely. Please do. We take donations at any time. Our wish list is huge. Right now, we're not even trying to buy new things. We're just trying to replace the old stuff so people actually play on functioning, working, real instruments so they can succeed and move on to the next level.
And of course, you can call Pahrump Valley High School at 727-7737 and ask for the music department or David Tomasini. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. And Domino's Pizza on Frontage Road has new management. We spoke to Eric Howe.
Well, Domino's, of course, has been in Pahrump now for 16 years, and the previous franchisee was going to close the store, and my partner and I decided to keep the store open. 15 jobs lost in Pahrump Valley is really a tough deal, and we did a quick buy on the store and stepped in to keep the store open. So right now we're financially responsible, and we're in the process of finalizing the franchisee paperwork.
Wow, so this is going to stay open here. And Domino's, I know they've done a lot of new advertising about changing their product a little bit, improving their product. How's business?
Business it's picking up. It's doing well. Pahrump Valley's always been a great supporter. I mean, everybody in this city really loves our pizza, and we love them. Like tonight with the fundraiser here, we've got a special going on where for every pizza I sell that's carried out, we're donating $1 to the high school band. And we have a new artesian pizza, which is coming out starting on the week of the 26th. It's a $7.99 specialty gourmet pizza. So it's going to be incredible, and I really suggest people try it.
I know Domino's has typically been involved in the community. How important it is for a business to get involved in something like this?
I think it's very important because the community supports us, supports our business, and it's only fair for us to turn around and send that support back to the community. And Domino's itself has always been a strong supporter of its communities wherever their stores are.
I know that nights like tonight, Friday nights, are real busy for you guys, and you have delivery drivers out there all the time, and some of the specials that you have.
The specials that we have right now is you can get 2 large, any number of toppings you want for $10.99.
There you go. And you kept the 15 jobs, so everybody's doing good now?
Oh, absolutely. We retained everybody here. We've only lost one person, and that's because she chose to work with a new company that's opening up here.
And we're on Frontage Road. Tell the phone number for people to order pizza.
751-3030.
More with News 46's News and Review. Don't go anywhere.
Pahrumph's most watched and #1 media source for local news and weather with Deanna O'Donnell.
Welcome back. Here's Zach Fuentes with your entertainment this week.
I'm Zach Fuentes here with your entertainment this week. While average citizens aren't the only ones that can fall victim to car theft, it seems that celebrities can too. After parking his vintage Mercedes-Benz for 10 minutes, John Travolta went back outside after stepping into a Jaguar dealership and found his car was stolen. Travolta parked the 1970 sports car on a residential street in Santa Monica on Sunday at around 3:46 in the afternoon. It is not known as to whether Travolta was followed by the car thieves or if they just felt like being spontaneous and took it. The car is rumored by some to be worth $35,000 or up to maybe 3 times that amount due to the car being vintage. An investigation is being held by the Santa Monica police. Well, Frances Bay, who you may remember as Adam Sandler's grandmother from the movie Happy Gilmore or from Seinfeld, has passed away. She died Thursday at an LA hospital after a pneumonia diagnosis. Now, an interesting note, Bay did not start screen acting until she was in her 50s, first playing Fonzie's grandma in Happy Days and in other roles on many other shows. Prior to marriage in World War II, Frances Bay was a radio actress back in the 30s. She was 92 years old. We have another death in the entertainment world. Singer, philanthropist, wife of a legend, and ultimately a legend in her own right, Dolores Hope, died on Monday at 102 years old. Dolores Hope was the widow of the legendary Bob Hope, to whom she was married for nearly 70 years. Now, the two met when a friend of Bob Hope, entertainer George Murphy, convinced Hope to hear a pretty girl sing, quote unquote. Well, Bob must have agreed with that because he returned every night after that, and soon Bob and Dolores Hope were married. Now, Dolores, for the most part, stayed out of the limelight to raise their 4 children, but did occasionally accompany Hope on his tour to visit troops and sing and entertain on his annual Christmas specials. Bob Hope died back in July of 2003 at age 100, and even though both of them are gone, their legacy will definitely live on. Well, this year had some of the best TV shows that we had in a while. Sunday, the Emmys were held to acknowledge these programs and their stars. Some of the winners included Mad Men for Outstanding Drama Series, Modern Family winning for Outstanding Comedy Series, and the winners for Outstanding Actor or Actress in a Drama Series were Kyle Chandler in Friday Night Lights and Julianne Margulies in The Good Wife. Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory and Melissa McCarthy from Mike and Molly took home an award for Best Actor and Actress in a Comedy Series. I'm Zach Fuentes, and that was your entertainment this week.
And there will be free flu shots this Saturday at the Pahrump Nugget. Maureen Boudal from the Nevada State Health Division gives you the details.
What we have going on is called a POD, a point of dispensing. It's a public health preparedness activity. It is at the Nugget from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday, September 24th. And what it is it's free flu shots. We are just exercising our pod plan as all rural communities are this time of year, and in order to provide a service and make sure that we're prepared in a real event, we're offering free flu shots. Again, that's at the Nugget, Saturday, September 24th, this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it is free, and 6 months and older are who's eligible to receive the flu vaccine on Saturday. We do have limited quantities, and we will be there till 2 p.m. or until we run out of vaccine, whichever comes first.
How's the flu season looking this year?
That's hard to say. Flu season actually peaks February, March. We start vaccinating now so that we have good, healthy immune systems. It does seem to be some sort of a viral stomach flu kind of thing happening in the community right now, limited, but happening. Flu that we're vaccinating against, of course, is for influenza, respiratory flus. So can't say how flu season will be, but the more people we vaccinate, the better the flu season will be, the less impact it will have on the public.
Who do you recommend getting the flu shots?
Anybody 6 months and older. Really, everybody should get vaccinated against the flu shot, against the flu. In particular, we recommend anybody that has respiratory issues, kids that have asthma, kids that have diabetes, autoimmune things that make their immune system not quite as strong. Teenagers, because they're active, they're out and about, they're moving all over the place. Elderly folks, of course, we always recommend that the elderly get flu shots. So really, anybody that has the potential to get sick should have a flu shot. So that means everybody.
Well, it's good news all around. Valley Electric is expanding. That means more jobs, but it also means certain fees are going to be eliminated. We speak to Tom Husted.
We are eliminating impact fees. The board passed a resolution at a special board meeting this month that would allow us to begin going down that road of eliminating impact fees. Of course, it is contingent upon us receiving approval from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for Valley Electric becoming a participant in the California ISO. So what we are doing now, pending that decision, which we anticipate will come shortly after the first of the year, is our members who are going to be putting in a new service or expanding an existing service will have two options. Number one, they could go ahead and pay the impact fees, and then when we receive approval, then they will get a refund, or they can choose not to pay that impact fee. And then if after the first year we don't receive approval, then they will have to go ahead and we'll have to bill them for those impact fees. At this point in time, we're excited because this is a real opportunity for Valley Electric and our members to deal with something that nobody likes, and that is impact fees. So this is a good move for Valley Electric and our members.
In what cases are impact fees charged?
Impact fees are charged for new construction or existing services that are going to be expanding their electrical requirements. Impact fees for Valley Electric are to help us fund the necessary capital infrastructure for our backbone infrastructure, our transmission, our substations, things like that. If a new member comes on and puts in a home today, obviously they have to pay to have the electric service ran to that new home. But in addition to that, there's impact fees that are charged that help the utility pay for the necessary infrastructure that we have to put in beyond that service. New substations, new transmission lines, and millions of dollars worth of infrastructure. So by eliminating that, what we've done there is we've reduced the cost to our existing members to put in a new service or expanding a present service. A point that I think is extremely important for our members to understand is that Valley Electric is not eliminating the need for those funds.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is that going to affect the infrastructure then if we don't have these?
No. What we have done is by Valley Electric moving forward with becoming a participant in California ISO is that particular project is allowing us to increase revenues and decrease our expenses. So in other words, we have found another way to help defray some of those costs on our members and then to make us more efficient, which in turn then yields these sort of benefits for our members. And this is really just the start of some of the things that we've got coming in the future that are going to yield some very, very positive results for our members.
Nye County School Superintendent Dr. Rob Roberts updates us on the progress of Pahrump Valley High School's remodel.
Pahrump Valley High School is a $28 million addition to the Pahrump Valley High School that was constructed for a population of 650 students. As you know, over the last few years, we've had as many as 1,580 students in that building built for 650, which required us to have a whole covey of modulars that are inefficient, ineffective, cost a lot to heat and air condition and plumbing and all those things. By having an internal structure with, once again, a ground loop heat source, we dug over 200 holes, wells in the ground underneath the what was the old football practice area, and that area will move the water through all those pipes and heat and cool that large structure at an extremely less cost than is currently so. It will occupy career and technical education classes in the construction trades, transportation, computers, and a large culinary program that we want to train kids to be chefs for the various service industries in the area. And we also have 3 large classrooms for the junior ROTC program, where all the walls will, the separating walls will pull back and allow for one large area for them to hold indoor formations and all those kinds of things that they need to do, even drill and ceremony to some degree, so they won't have to be out in the heat as much when during the very, very hot summer months. So we're excited about that.
I'm excited about this too. We're going to have a different facade, I think, and a 3-story building in the back. What's going to happen with 9th Grade Academy?
Well, speaking of the facade of the school, in December we should be able to move everybody into the large structure that's built behind the current high school. And we'll empty the front building and allow us to completely remodel and update that portion with the latest fiber optics, computer hookups, and all those things that are necessary to make it a 21st century building. Then the outside of the facade will be a very attractive, it would look like an all brand new school. With a huge Trojan head in the middle and lots of parking for students and faculty. And then that will eliminate the people or students in the ninth grade academy currently from having to traverse back and forth every day. It'll be self-contained for food service, all those kinds of things. A large wrestling area, enough to put out 2 mats for the students to exercise in there. The current ninth grade academy, we will use that facility for whatever extension programs we have right now. We're going to shut down the B building of that, and, board it up and all that until we can determine, keep it ready for, mothball it for the next wave of whatever occurs. There's lots of things we could do with it, but right now we'll probably reduce operations there to try and save money.
And then how many stages and when's expected completion?
3 stages of the high school program. Stage 1 is the current $28 million extension on the back. And then stage 2 is the first part of the school with the remit. And stage 3 will be the area of where the current parking lot is. At one point, we want to put a performing arts center there. And that would be the next stage when we have determining if we have any money left with everything else we're doing. So that might be until the next bond issue. We're not sure.
And so they were saying about the middle of the year, is that true that you'll be opening up the back area?
The current plan of construction is that over the Christmas break, we will be very, very busy moving furniture, hooking computers, and getting all those classrooms ready to go.
If you haven't had a chance to relax and enjoy your surroundings, this Friday and Saturday night is just the time. You can take a relaxing drive to Tacoma Hot Springs and join in the Star Party. We speak to Jason Kobillens.
Yes, out at the Tacoma Hot Springs Resort every year we have star parties that run all season long from September till May. And what we have is an 11-inch Celestron telescope with a Mallancam, which is a custom-made video camera that we attach to the eyepiece and broadcast it over televisions or large screen monitors. And we have actually quite a view when we explore the universe. I mean, full color, almost National Geographic, but it's quite an experience.
Do you know how long they've been doing these?
Several years now, I'd say 4 or 5 years. I'm not quite sure. It was started a long time ago by a man by the name of Jason Davis. And he's actually the one who taught me how to do it and took over. He lives up in Utah, and he used to bring out like a 29-inch telescope, which is about 9 or 10 feet tall. And we all got hooked on the idea of how exciting it could be to, check out different things in the universe.
So tell me about the technical aspects of this, because when you're actually looking, when you're actually aiming it, how close can we actually see?
And we see objects, they're millions of light years away, and it's kind of surprising because the clarity that we're getting on these images are quite stunning, actually, for a little amateur setup in the back of the resort here. Mm-hmm. And it's GPS oriented, so once we lock in, the GPS kind of takes over, and we move with the rotation of the Earth, so we can stay locked on the object and look at it for long periods of time.
It's amazing. Is the public invited?
Anybody's invited. It's a free show. It's actually right next door to Pastel's Bistro, which is having their opening this weekend after being off all season. And it's amazing food, and it's an amazing time. We also, sometimes we get a little crazy. We like to have drums and different instruments out and, just make some noise, have a good time and to the night. And anybody's welcome to come out and check it out.
What kind of things should people bring with them? Do they need any equipment, chairs? Should they bring snacks, or is the Pastel's Bistro open for them?
I would bring snacks if you're not wanting a full meal. I would bring chairs for comfort. It's still warm out right now, so don't worry too much about blankets or anything like that. But as winter, as we get closer to winter, it does cool off out there, and it gets quite cold. But it's still actually the best views are late in wintertime.
So this is a great event to go to as well. And this will be happening every month. Will we know when they're happening, or is there a phone number or contact information?
Actually, both. We have a full schedule, and we do have a phone number. It's 760-852-4420. And just ask about the star parties. They usually happen on the weekend closest to the new moon, which is one of the darkest, times of the month, so that we can look at the sky with much, when the moon's in place, it's kind of hard to see everything that's going on up there.
So this is Friday and Saturday night. What time?
About an hour after sunset, we usually start broadcasting.
And for more information, they can call that number, but it's located where in Tacoma?
Tacoma Hot Springs Resort.
Well, that's all, folks, with News 46's News in Review. We'll see you back here next week. We also want to let you guys know that the Pahrump Fair and Festival Parade is on now. We'll have that story and updates of it next week on our newscast. But we'd also like to thank certain people for helping. And one of them is, of course, our own Lulu Francis here at KPVM, who called us originally to let us know about the cancellation of the parade. And we were able to get on that right away. And Town Board Chair Mike Darby put through the request to help Paved get that $10,000 that is needed. It'll be on the Pahrump Town Board's agenda this next week. And we also want to thank the Nye County Commissioners, Sheriff Tony DeMeo, Captain Bill Becht, Vern Van Winkle, Rhonda Van Winkle, and everybody else who got involved, including Lisa Holloman and Rick Manning. And hopefully we'll be seeing a parade here next week. And of course, we'll bring you all the highlights from all the Fall Festival and the parade in the weeks to come. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Have a great weekend.